¿Qué pasa, YouTube? 6fthax here. Happy guys today. A pretty fun, very close NU Wi-Fi battle I had against Argon. His channel link and stuff are going to be down below for you guys to go check out. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to power up, punch that like button down below. Also, let me know in the comment section below if you guys think Meloetta should be banned from NU, because for those of you who may not be aware, currently NU is suspect testing Meloetta, which I 100% agree with, man. Meloetta can run so many different sets, not to mention that it can even have Relic Song, which I've been swept by myself late game and can definitely catch people off guard, considering that the typical sets for Meloetta are a Specs, Scarfed, and I've seen a couple Assault Vest. A Sub-Calm Mind is also pretty cool, just Calm Mind, offensive as well. But yeah, let me know if you guys think Meloetta should be banned. So going into this battle, this is a pretty fun team I made myself based around Specs, Sceptile, and Focus Sash, SIGILYPH, as Argon has a pretty balanced looking team. The biggest threat's obviously going to be the Meloetta. Also, a Alolan Raichu could be a slight nuisance depending on how things go, but he ends up leading off with the Raichu. As I lead off with my Steelix turn 1, I'm going to switch directly into my Slowbro, because if that is a choiced Raichu, I can scout out to see what kind of set it is, whether it be Scarfed, Specs, or Life Orb. But he actually switches out into his Hitmontop as he goes for the Toxic. Toxic honestly is not entirely too crucial in this matchup. I would have probably not been able to sweep with Calm Mind Slowbro as it is from team matchup anyways. Plus there's a chance that he could always Toxic me with the Slowking if it's not an Assault Vest set. Either way though, I Scald the Hitmontop, unfortunately getting no burn, as I'm going to pull a double switch here into my Sceptile, expecting him to bring in his Slowking, and I'm going to go straight for a choice Specs Leaf Storm, which does so much damage to the Slowking. Unfortunately though, he does turn out to be Assault Vested and he's able to live, as luckily I'm able to chew this Fire Blast and he puts me into Overgrow range, and I lose literally nothing by going for the Leaf Storm again. Thanks to the choice specs, I'm only at -1. I'm also in Overgrow range, so this Steelix is still going to take a huge amount of damage on the switch in, which is really nice, because now I can just click Leaf Storm again. Like, I literally lose nothing in clicking Leaf Storm. He's got no safe switch into this. Sceptile is absolutely going to put in a lot of work in this game, considering that I do outspeed just about everything that he does have, unless he does have a Scarfer in Raichu or a Scarfer in Sock potentially, or this Meloetta could be Scarfed. And on the off chance that it was Scarfed and he predicting me to switch into my Steelix, I switched directly into my SIGILYPH here. Unfortunately though, he does turn out to be Relic Song, which is actually kind of terrifying, because this thing can easily knock out my SIGILYPH here and potentially knock out another Pokemon in order for me to put it in range of where I can revenge kill it. But he actually ends up switching out here into the Steelix, which is actually really good for me, because I have the Heat Wave and I lose nothing in going for it. If I miss here, that's going to be absolutely huge, and of course I miss. That miss is absolutely huge, as I mentioned, because the fact that I missed that Heat Wave means not only does he get to keep Steelix around, he gets up Stealth Rocks, and now my Sceptile is going to be knocked out upon switching in, and he had literally nothing that switched in to even Choice Specs Giga Drain coming from my Sceptile, and now I'm in the back foot of this battle because of a 10% chance to miss, which means I'm going to be fighting an uphill game throughout the remainder of this battle, but I do still have a good chance to win. So I'm going to Air Slash the incoming Steelix here after Heat Waving Slowking, and Slowking being able to regenerate back all of its HP is going to be really annoying in this matchup, because it was already so low to the point where it wouldn't have been able to live 2 Flare Blitzes coming from my Emboar on the switch in, and now because he's able to regen back all this HP, he has a check once again to my Emboar, which is even more problematic in this game if I don't predict around it correctly, or if I can't start breaking his team down. So I'm gonna sack off my Sceptile here to the rocks just to see what he wanted to do. As he brings in the Slowking, I'm gonna bring in my Emboar, and I'm not really in a good position to predict here. Like, I have to go for the Wild Charge here. Even if I had gone for the Flare Blitz and expected the Hitmontop to come in, he could have then easily just switched back into the Slowking, and that wouldn't have taken any damage from a -1 Reckless Scarfed Flare Blitz. So I am able to get off a little bit of chip damage on the Hitmontop, which isn't entirely too bad, because as soon as I get rid of this, the easier this matchup is going to be. So I switched directly into my Garbodor here in hopes that maybe he would try to go for the Toxic or the Close Combat, but he actually ends up doubling out into his Sock, which is not entirely too bad because I do have my Slowbro in the back, which should be able to safely switch in to an Earthquake coming from this thing, or I guess if you wanted to knock off, I do have the Water EMZ, so it would have done absolutely no damage, and the Toxic really doesn't matter right now on my Slowbro, so I'm able to chew this Zen Headbutt, doing absolutely nothing. Even after Rocks and Toxic, I will be able to gain back all of this HP on the turn that I switch out thanks to Regenerator. So I could either go for a Scald here or try to pull a double switch, as I do double switch into my Steelix in hopes that he would potentially try to switch into the Slowbro as he does here. This way I could be able to get up my Stealth Rocks, and then if I'm able to keep up offensive pressure, I should be able to keep up my Rocks throughout the remainder of this game and make it an even playing field to then be able to hopefully get up Polaris Spikes with my Garbodor, which should be able to put me back in a better position in this game, because again, I'm still fighting an uphill battle here. As he goes for the Scald, of course, he burns me on the first Scald, which you just gotta love Pokemon sometimes, right? So I do manage to get off the Toxic on the Slowking, which is really nice because now if I'm able to wear it down enough, as long as I can get up and keep up hazards, this thing will not be able to safely switch in to my Emboar's Flare Blitzes, because as long as I keep it at around 85-90% HP upon switching in to Flare Blitz, should be able to knock it out with the combination of toxic damage. So he does end up just going for the Future Sight here, which honestly isn't entirely too bad on the off chance that he does want to switch out here, not wanting to have the turns of the Toxic rack up. I'm actually going to go for a Toxic again, expecting him to switch into either this Hitmontop or potentially the Meloetta, knowing that I am burned and that I can't really do too much damage to it. As I do manage to catch the incoming Hitmontop, this is really good because now I can start pressuring this Hitmontop and hopefully be able to prevent it from going for the Rapid Spin, or if I can put myself in a good position, I can switch into my Garbodor as he knocks himself out to the Rapid Spin because of my Rocky Helmet, and then that way he won't be able to spin away my Stealth Rocks, and then I can get up Polaris Spikes and things should be a little bit better for me in this game. Either way though, at this point I literally lose nothing and just leaving in Steelix here. Like, I have no more use for Steelix. Also, he does still have the Future Sight up, and I was expecting him to just want to go for the Rapid Spin, which is why I go for the Stealth Rocks again, because I'm going to go down this turn to the Future Sight anyways. If for some reason I did live, the burn would have knocked me out anyways. So I do go down here, which is not entirely too bad because the toxic damage is really starting to rack up on this Hitmontop, which is absolutely amazing because, again, as long as I keep up offensive pressure, we'll be able to prevent him from spinning, as I will be able to get a free switch into my Emboar here. I am just going to go straight for the Flare Blitz. If he does want to try risking in the Slowbro, I think I had like a very minuscule chance to a KO after Rocks and Spikes from, not Spikes, but after Toxic to max HP Slowking, yeah. But luckily for me, he ends up sacking off the Sock here, which the crit literally didn't matter. I mean, it's a Sock, I'm an Emboar, I'm Reckless boosted, so yeah. Down goes a Sock, in comes a Hitmontop, and after Stealth Rocks, I do have a slight chance to knock out this Hitmontop with Flare Blitz, and I just have to hope that I can get the roll in my favor because I need these rocks up, but of course I do not get the roll in my favor, as he's going to be able to go for the Rapid Spin, and after leftovers he will be able to still survive this following turn, which is really problematic because now I don't have rocks to be able to get off that extra little bit of chip damage on his team every time they switch in. I could have potentially tried to switch into Garbodor here, but if I had done that, he would have got a blatant free switch back into the Meloetta. At least by bringing in my SIGILYPH here, I can kind of deter him from bringing in the Meloetta, and I can maybe try to force him in to the Raichu or potentially back into the Slowking so I can wear Slowking down and maybe pivot around it. But he does end up bringing in the Raichu here. As I have no switch-ins to this, I am going to lose my SIGILYPH here, which, you know what? I'm going to release this damn SIGILYPH because if I didn't miss the Heat Wave, I wouldn't even be in this position. Like, that Heat Wave, like, honestly, just kind of screwed me over, but it's not entirely too bad. Like, I still have maybe a slight chance to win this game. I'm just gonna bring in Emboar here, and I'm just gonna go for the Flare Blitz. I could have potentially, oh, let me wild charge, sorry. I could have potentially gone for the Flare Blitz, is what I meant. But if he had tried to switch into the Slowking, I would have much rather have caught that with the Wild Charge, obviously, than a Flare Blitz, as I'm able to knock out the Meloetta here. Unfortunately, I am going to go down to this Rico, I believe. Actually, no, I do live on 2, which is really nice because now I will be able to get off a hit on this Raichu. If I'm able to crit it, then maybe I can have a chance to knock it out, and I can still pressure the Slowking with my Garbodor and my own Slowbro. As I go down to the Rico, he does end up going for the Psychic, as I'm going to bring in my Slowbro here in hopes that maybe he would be locked into the Psychic. And I think I actually end up trying to pull a switch out here, scouting out to see if he is locked into Psychic or not. And even if I had brought in Garbodor instead of Slowbro here, I still probably would have tried to switch out potentially, just trying to ensure if he was choiced or not, as the combination of Thunderbolt and Psychic will be able to knock me out. Unfortunately, at this point, my last Pokemon is going to be my Slowbro, which is not going to be able to beat this Raichu and Slowking 1v1, but oddly enough, he switches out here into his Slowking. Maybe he thought that Thunderbolt wouldn't be able to knock me out? I guess I haven't thrown Slack off, so maybe he thought I would be Assault Vest Slowbro, which I guess kind of makes sense a little bit there. So that would probably be the reason as to why he switched out here into the Slowking, unless I'm able to get up to +2 Spadef with Calm Mind and stay at above 50% HP. There's really no way that my Slowbro at this point can 1v1 Slowking or 1v1 the Raichu. So I try to go for one Calm Mind here in hopes that maybe I would be able to get that second Calm Mind. Maybe if I had gone for the Calm Mind initially instead of going for the Psyshock, I might have had a bit of a better chance to still win this battle instead of what I have right now, because the toxic damage, this future sight damage, and the skull damage is just really starting to wear down my Slowbro. And because Slowking here only has one final turn, I'm gonna try and go for the Slack off and hope that after Scald and this toxic damage at +1 Spadef, I can still potentially live a Thunderbolt from the Raichu, and then in return somehow knock it out with the Scald. If I'm able to crit or burn, that would be awesome. Unfortunately though, Slowbro does not have the best Spadef around, even with the little bit of Spadef EVs I did have in there. So yeah, that is going to be game, fun game to Argon. Make sure to go check him out, guys. Channel link and stuff down below. Once again, make sure to power up punch that like button down below. Let me know if you guys think Meloetta should be banned or it should not be banned from the NU tier in the comment section below. With all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Later, bye.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.